face.
This is my
You need sunglasses?
pooping Ari's face.
Are you gonna go live? We're recording.
Live
There we go.
from ESG 2.0 headquarters. I mean, that's where we are, right? Downtown Connecticut.
Yeah.
You don't
Is
have to
this
look
our
at me.
first show all together?
No. it's not.
We're allowed to look at you now. We're all in the same place.
It's a business
Look at it.
Business Pants Friday show here. Woo!
Woo! Stop looking out the window. Look towards the microphone.
Featuring all your favorites: Ari the Data Queen, Jesse the Money Whisperer, BS Man Matt Biscardi. Yeah!
All right, let's do a thing.
Our weekly wrap up today: sad implosions, wealth hoarders, bratty billionaires, and stuff that sucks that lasts forever.
That's me.
Okay, that's the show.
Get ready.
So why don't we just say batteries and PFAS, and then you and I pick Elon Musk
Ugh.
and.
I didn't pick Musk. I did. I do have a Musk story.
You
You
can't
avoid
you
him.
can't avoid him.
Yeah.
He's everywhere.
All right. So what are we on? Story of the week. All right, let's do it. Story of the week.
Come on, Ari. Come on, clap for me for once.
No. Oh, we could get the bell.
Okay. I picked the biggest news story of the week, but there's a reason why I picked. So the story being that the Titan submersible imploded,
This is
killing all
exhausting.
500 people. What was this, yesterday?
Yeah, they figured it out yesterday.
Here's why I picked the story. Everyone already knows the story. I don't have to go into depth. But there's a tourist.
I don't really know a lot about it.
There's a tourist company that sends rich people down to look at the wreckage of the Titanic for about $200,000 a ticket. Is that the story?
250,000. Yeah.
Yeah. A whole house.
Here's why I picked the story, and this is kind of also in tribute of another one of my stories about us. But 5 people died. That's not why I picked it. But of those people, one was the founder and CEO of that company, Ocean Gate Expeditions.
Wah, wah.
Another one was the chair of another company called Action Aviation. Another one was a director at the company he was at. And the fourth was on 2 publicly traded boards and his son. So what I'm trying to say is they're all CEO, founders, or directors. This is who went down in the submersible.
So how much influence was lost on boards as a result of this?
Unfortunately, primarily a lot of these companies were Pakistani companies, which one of our data providers does not cover, so we don't actually cover them.
Oh, wah, wah.
I know.
It's sad.
Yeah. So that's the number one story of the week. It seems like a no-brainer
I'm so
to cover
over
that one.
this story.
All right.
Cannot escape it.
Not when something implodes on you, it's hard to escape, I guess. Shouldn't laugh at that. That wasn't meant to be a joke. Number 2 story of the week. Unfortunately, I guess I had to.
Also cannot escape this.
Yes, only because it's just, again, it falls into our universe. Elon, and I didn't really even follow this too closely, but this according to the BBC, Elon Musk and Mark Zuckerberg agreed to hold a cage fight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think
Is it gonna be staged like WWE stuff or what?
it's not a real cage fight.
Why? Why do you say that?
Is it in a box ring?
I mean, they didn't really it wasn't like they called each other up and set the rules and stuff like that. It was like one of those things where it's like, I'll fight anybody. It's like, oh, I'll take you up on that. But they're like, it happened on 2 different social media channels, and it was like, it's never really gonna happen.
Oh, okay.
The chances that this ever happened, and then Musk spent the entire time being like, I'm gonna give him the walrus, and sent a picture of a walrus lying on top of someone, or it was something
so it's
dumb.
not. This
It was
isn't even really going to happen. This isn't a
I
real
don't
thing.
think so. This is stupid.
Well, already UFC President Dana White, who we've talked about a lot here, because one of the biggest scumbags kind of in our world, has said that this cage match, he's already planning it, pay-per-view would cost $100 to watch and bring in over $1 billion. So
I was
that
just gonna say
bluster?
the best thing ever would be if it did happen and nobody went and nobody covered it.
That's
That's just the
never
two
gonna
of
happen.
them.
Never
I
gonna
know, but wouldn't that be so
Impossible.
good?
Also joining the stupid story is Airbnb CEO Brian Chesky, who says he'll challenge any leader in tech, only in tech. So this does not include anyone in finance or...
No, we stay away from the...
Henry Fernandez at MSCI, you can't play.
What about our own CEO?
Are we in tech?
Who are you gonna challenge? You should challenge
Well,
someone.
let me at least say the challenge. He'll challenge any leader in tech to bench press.
Oh.
And we officially jumped the shark of horrible males,
Our
tech
CEO's
CEOs,
got 3 children. I'm sure he's bench pressed them all.
the children.
But
Yeah.
all these companies have diversity officers, don't they? So,
Yes.
so is this like manliness that still gets boycott
God, this
somehow?
is so
I
obnoxious.
don't like this.
No one likes this. Number 3 story of the week. Next 2 stories are going to be only about us.
Okay, perfect.
Way better than the top 2.
And I talked to Ari's husband about this last night.
Okay.
The 3rd story of the week is that we actually, as a company, worked on Juneteenth. And he was questioning it, and I
How
was
is that a
I was
story
grieved.
of the week?
Because
To whom?
of all companies, why are we working on Juneteenth? But I did tell him that we did dedicate an entire show to Juneteenth data. So that's the
Okay.
3rd story of the week.
All right.
And that's just really a soft lead into the 4th story of the week, is that we launched our platform.
Yes, that's the thing we
That's
asked.
why, because one of the
Right.
reasons why we worked on Juneteenth was we needed to do some extra platform stuff.
If you go to freefloat.llc and up in the top right-hand corner, there's a little login button. Click the little login button. It's free for the S&P 500. All the data is free up there. S&P 500 right now. If you see like blurred out stuff, that's because you have to pay us.
It's an
for that.
upsell, so we can have salaries.
And we can eat.
Please.
Yeah, I'm hungry.
Part of the reason why I tagged that, the platform launch, is that there was a story this week about NVIDIA board member Mark Stevens sold over 100,000 shares in NVIDIA for $51 million. Mark Stevens, according to our database, 3% influence.
Wow.
3% influence on the board of NVIDIA.
And he got
And he got
$51
$51
million
million. Yeah, yeah.
for 3%.
Why
Wow.
is he selling?
Holy.
Should we
Why?
all
Because
sell?
they hit the
Why wouldn't he?
trillion.
Yeah.
They hit the trillion market cap.
He's like,
They're
oh, it's only down from here.
Those are the 4 stories.
I mean,
Do you
Yeah.
really have
the
4
real
stories?
story is the only real story
questioning
is
this.
the Titan
Oh,
imploding.
not the platform?
I mean, the story is, why is that such a freaking story?
Yeah, I mean, because it was like everywhere, and there were memes about like we care more about that than the migrants who drowned, and
Yeah.
One of the men who died in this was a French
700
maritime expert known as Mr. Titanic.
But I'm definitely not choosing that.
No, me
I'm
either.
definitely choosing our platform launch, which is
Oh.
the story of the year.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's our story.
You
of
agree,
the
We
Ari?
year.
did a thing.
You
yeah,
agree?
it's a sweep.
Yes, it's a sweep. I love it.
Woo!
I love a good sweep.
I didn't put it in Goodliest because I knew it was going to be
Our
story of the
platform, free flow data platform.
Free flow analytics.
What is it called?
Analytics.
Does it even need a name? Does
No,
it,
why
it's
do
our
they need
platform.
names?
week. It's so good, it doesn't need a name.
Just go to it and get every piece of information about your
It's actually
directors.
kind of cool and it's beautiful too.
It's kind
And
of cool.
we should thank.
It's like surprise.
I know he listens to every show 3 times. He told me we should thank our programmer. Is that what he's called?
Bogdan.
Bogdan. Yes, we never
Bogdan
thank Bogdan.
Kulida.
Thank you, Bogdan.
Developer.
Yeah, Bogdan,
Woohoo!
who got it done. All right, goodliest of the week. Let's do goodliest of the week.
Time for me. I'm going to start with a controversial one.
Is it bad?
Well, you can't announce if it's controversial. I mean, right?
Well,
Yeah.
you're
You might not-
gonna,
you might
you're
not
gonna,
agree.
You're gonna say a lot of things. Warren Buffett just donated about $5 billion of Berkshire Hathaway shares
Mhm.
and has now given up 54% of his stockpile.
Which is
Yeah.
worth how much? It's
Is that
like
a pun?
125 billion. Is that what that 54% represents? It's in the 100 billion area.
What?
If
Who
he
did
hadn't given anything away.
By the way, I'm chewing on boba right now.
Who did he donate it to?
So most of the shares, he converted
To another billionaire.
his Class A shares to Class B and ended up with about 12 million Class B shares and donated 10 million of those
Two,
to
dot, dot, dot.
the Melinda
Gates
Oh!
Foundation.
It'd be nice to say
the
Melinda
Bill
first.
and Melinda.
It's
And-
Bill and Melinda.
And
yeah.
maybe they'll do something good with it
The
because they'll use our
Melinda
data.
French
Maybe.
Gates
I got
and
nothing.
the other guy foundation.
I got nothing against Bill or Melinda, but
He gave
Can
them to
you
their best
really
A
friend.
call
billionaire
that
gave his money to a
donating?
billionaire.
Yeah,
Yes,
can you
that's
really
correct.
call that donating if you're a billionaire giving it to another
it's a
billionaire?
little. Look, this is where I.
Or are you
maybe,
just like handing it to a friend?
this is why maybe this is controversial, is Warren hoarded a bunch of wealth and then is deciding to give it back away,
Is this a
right?
tax scheme?
Well, he made a whole bunch of money, which
Yeah.
He has to
he's
pay tax.
always been making a whole bunch of money.
Yeah.
Like, you can't fault the guy for making a whole bunch of money.
I
He's
just,
given
I
half
just
of
feel like
his
he could
current
have.
wealth, he gave it away.
I feel like he could have put a little more effort
Into where?
Yeah, figuring out himself where he wants
But
to
he did
get, like,
give
to
it away, at least.
because
actually
wherever
donating
he
it.
gave it to, we would have criticized because it's
Maybe.
still a billionaire choosing where so many billions
No,
of
like if
dollars
he
go.
actually did what Mackenzie is doing and like choosing organizations.
Yeah, but she got a lot of heat for it.
Did she? Not from
Not
us?
from us, not
No,
from me.
Okay, so because
No.
people are donating because of what we say after about
Well,
them.
We can only be us.
It's cool, but it could be cooler. It's good. It
And
could,
let's not
it could be
forget-
gooder.
It could be better. It could have
How
been
did-
it's all-
100% of his wealth, which
How
it
did-
will be eventually.
It's goodliest of the week, not awesomeliest of the week.
That's true. It's only good. And how did he acquire this stockpile of wealth? Investing in ketchup, sugar, like
Oil.
Coca-Cola, sugar, oil. So
Yeah.
what are we even doing
Into
here?
all the things that make the world run.
So
Got
he's
it.
basically giving that money
Hey,
back to
Ketchup.
help.
someone subsisted off
Sugar.
of
Mostly
ketchup.
Yeah.
But he's also giving money back to solve the problems created by the things that made him ultra wealthy, like obesity,
Climate change.
Climate change. No, I'm seriously, right?
Well, that's
I hear you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But, I mean, other billionaires that did the
But
same
I
are,
guess
not,
they
are
have-
not giving away half
that's
their
the,
wealth
that's
right
why
now.
this is good, because then you have
That's
people
true.
like, you know, Elon Musk and Mark Zuckerberg.
the
Right.
point.
Yeah.
Is
Yeah.
he could have not given it, I
Yeah.
suppose.
Yeah. So that's why it's
So
good.
this is goodly.
Maybe
as-
not
because
very
he
good,
could've-
good.
He didn't not give it.
It might be the best. It might be the best example of good that we have, right?
Yeah, it is very squarely
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
All right, number 2. Home Depot says 85% of lawn equipment sales to be battery powered by 2028, saving 2 million tons of emissions per year.
2028.
I know.
That's
I
soon.
read this and was like,
No, I
Really? That's soon.
like.
I
like
am
the-
Not that
shocked.
soon.
85%
Better than
of lawn
2050.
equipment.
Well, the other
That's
15,
shocking.
the other 15% are they burn twice as much.
well, yeah, it's
of
probably like all
gas.
the little things, and then you have like the big gas
What about
powered.
the push mower?
The 15% is all of the things that are.
All right, so I have an electric push mower. I have
Battery or plug-in?
a battery. I have an electric a weed whacker. I have an
Say
electric
battery.
hedge trimmer. I have an electric leaf blower.
And solar panels.
And
So it all
If
just
only-
charges
If
itself.
only
and
we
you
could
can
be
get them
like
all at Home
you.
Depot now. I got them all at Home Depot
Yeah,
already.
I'm just shocked that other people would be willing to switch.
what?
To
No. Okay.
leave
Here's the thing. Here's
their
why.
gross gas.
Here's why Home Depot is right. Is that in this instance, as you can attest to, these products are great.
Yeah, they
They're,
do
oh,
what
they're
they're
a-
supposed to
they're
do.
fabulous. They're easy to use. They're lighter. They don't smell. They're good for the environment. And they're really just great.
I actually
products.
had our neighbor across the street came out. She's like 9,000 years old, and she said, you know, I really love your lawnmower,
because
and
it
I was
doesn't
like,
wake me up anymore.
and I was like, why? And she said, because I can't hear it.
Exactly. Yeah.
Well, that may also be an age problem.
No. But there are
Last
many
year she
cities
could,
now
This year she can't.
that have ordinances against using gas-powered equipment at
So,
certain
but
times of day.
this is a better way to do it than making an ordinance. As soon as the city says you can't use gas powered
Not just because of the gas, because of the noise, the
but
noise
the
level.
conservatives will
Whoa.
lose their mind
Yeah,
about
yeah.
like they're taking away your stove and your like whatever. And
That's
it's like
that's the 15% that's gonna
That's true.
pulled
yeah,
out.
they just
in
want
2020.
It's
They
Kid
want to
Rock.
smell the gas.
I'm gonna
fumes.
gas even more just to get back
Kid
at
Rock's
you.
fans.
So anyway, I don't know. I liked it. I was
I
surprised.
like that one
I was
too.
surprised by the number. And number 3,
Yeah. Oh, the goodliest of the week really is that you only have 3 stories. I love this.
Senate bill to take bonuses back from failed
Wait.
bank executives clears first hurdle.
Okay, we're only at the first hurdle stage.
But it cleared it.
Okay.
But 21 to 2.
It's good.
Okay, but does the House have a say in this? Because
So-
they're going to reject this.
Shut up, but
Okay.
why? Oh,
Because the
already
House.
bipartisan.
Fight.
Is it really? Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So why don't you, hear the story?
Keep going.
On Wednesday, the Senate
We need a
Banking
cage
Committee.
fight.
You're making Jessie very uncomfortable. She does not like
She doesn't
conflict.
like sitting by me. She likes
Even-
when I'm 200 miles away.
Even if it's fake conflict, she doesn't. She's uncomfortable.
The Senate Banking Committee approved a bipartisan bill that would let regulators take back bonuses from executives of failed banks, like SVB and Signature Bank that failed this year,
Speaking of failure.
and hand out financial penalties for screwing up so badly. 21 to 22.
It's impressive.
Ooh.
Like,
21 to 2.
this can unite people.
So there are
you know?
two things that both parties hate. They hate TikTok and they hate failed
SVB.
bank SVB. They hate failed bank executives from the Silicon Valley.
And they're both just going to lean into taking bonuses back. Or,
Hey, I'm
as the
all for it.
article
I
said,
love a clawback.
clawed it back.
Yeah, I love a clawback.
So now that it passed this hurdle, it goes
To the full Senate? Okay.
and then it'll go to the House, and then we'll see what happens.
Can't wait to see what Ted Cruz says.
But this
So
is a thing
excited.
that happened.
All right, let's
Okay.
vote on.
Why are you looking at me?
Let's vote on these things. Warren Buffett donating $5 billion. Home Depot
Donating.
battery
like
powered
giving it
lawn
back,
equipment,
isn't he?
and the Senate bill passes a hurdle to getting some money back.
You know what? Can I just say that I would be way more for the billionaires doing these donations if they weren't allowed to say donation and they had to say, I'm giving your money back.
What do you mean giving your money back?
What? Because it's just a wealth hoard of the world's resources and he's just giving it
You
back
can't
now.
be mad at him for doing
Oh, I can be mad about everything.
Yeah.
Literally everything.
You
Yeah,
can be
didn't
mad
he?
at the system that enables
I'm-
them to hoard money.
I'm mad that in the bathroom in your house last night that someone didn't put the toilet paper on the thing. Like it was just sitting there and that the trash was full of weird like hair and I'm mad at everything.
Who did that?
I'm gonna
It was
vote.
my mother-in-law.
No, I didn't say that.
I'm voting. I'm gonna vote for the Senate bill. I like it.
Yeah.
I love
Claw
it.
it back.
Wait,
I don't-
both of you really?
No, just
No, I don't
She
get to
only
vote.
she didn't get
She
the
doesn't-
vote. My vote is for
Oh.
Home Depot in the lawn equipment sales.
Oh.
I do think that is a it's almost like
It just says they're gonna be. How do you know though?
I think they're trolling
Interesting.
their former owner, who's saying
Interesting.
everybody's woke and he's a Trumpy and
Who's
all that
trolling?
stuff.
Home Depot is?
Home Depot,
You
like-
think they're trolling the founder?
Yeah, by being like, you know what, we're gonna sell nothing but battery powered lawn equipment. Eat it.
That's kind of
We're
cool.
gonna hide our gas-powered stuff.
We're gonna put that in the the really high rack.
Yeah,
where you
nobody-
need to ask somebody, do you have a forklift that I can get up there with?
Nope.
Here's why I'm not going to vote for the clawbacks.
Why?
Because my fear is that you're going to trot out this stupid story again when it does pass. And we're going to have to vote on it
Well,
again.
it'll be a good story
I know,
then too.
Warren Buffett, I'm sorry, I can't go there. I agree with Matt in the sense that
There's nothing else.
what
We've
pains
eliminated the
because
other
you know what
things.
pains me is when the fake meat companies, the Beyond Meats and the Impossible Burgers, they're all failing, which pains me because I think it's a glorious revolution. I'm ecstatic that this one is working somehow. I don't care why. I'm just ecstatic.
So far.
People
It's working.
people I see it everywhere. People like the
They work
electric
well.
lawn. I mean, because when you're done, you don't like jacking the thing with oil
You're not going
and
to
like
stupid gas
cleaning it
station.
down. You don't have to go to the gas station every time you want to mow your
Yeah.
lawn. You like put it, drop it in the charger, and you go upstairs and you drink a Mai Tai.
Yeah, like I wish the fake meat industry
Scorpion Bowl.
could learn from this. I mean, maybe not sell a burger
You
for
crack a Bud Light.
$20. And it's not
A
that much more
Modelo.
expensive either. It's not that much more expensive, these products.
All right, the winner is Home Depot, which is
It's not
unexpected.
Home Depot,
Weird.
it's gas,
It's electric
electric powered lawn equipment. How dare you?
I like that they're doing it by 2028. They didn't say 2050 for that one.
Ugh.
All right,
So
on to
cool.
Ass Holiest of the Week,
Speaking of assholes.
which is me.
Yeah.
I got 4, and they're not really, we don't have to talk actually that much about them. First up is, this was the headline, and I don't know why it bothered me so much, and I read the story and it bothered me more. Canada Bread agrees to pay
Canada
50
Bread.
million Canadian dollars
Yeah.
for a role in price fixing scheme.
Canada Bread.
Canada Bread.
I
So
laughed at that.
So-
Why did it bother you?
it bothered me because when you read the story, they colluded with other bread makers to increase the price of bread.
By how much?
Seems so mean.
It doesn't
It
matter.
doesn't. Like really, bread? Like I get it if it was oil, like some made, like you'd expect that.
Bread.
But bread corruption is what we're talking about.
The thing that fills
Big
up poor
bread?
people when they're hungry, yeah.
Like when a storm hits in Canada, everyone goes out and gets milk and bread. And the Big Bread colluded to make it cost 7 cents more.
That's an
I
asshole
mean,
move.
this
What
is
are
why
we
they
talking
control
about?
the prices in France, right?
That's one of the reasons,
Right,
yeah.
Damien?
It's also because it's a cultural landmark, and they want, but they want people to, they want it to be a daily part of their lives. If it's $8, no one's gonna buy it.
The French Canadian need to learn from.
Further pissing me off was the fact that the $50 million fine they were touting as like the biggest fine ever given.
Well, it's
like on
Canada.
something like this. Canada doesn't do a lot of fines. This happened between 2007 and 2011 or 12.
And it's only
Oh.
now
And they
happening.
just figured out how to
Oh,
do it
really?
in
150.
11 years.
Well, they had to wait.
$1.50. That's significant.
11 years.
They had to let the COVID fog go away before they discovered this.
Not only did Big Bread
They just
collude
thought
to
it was
raise the price of
inflation.
your bread, but 11 years later,
They
someone
got
was
away
like,
with it, yeah.
They definitely made
Who's
one.
the asshole
$50
here?
million is how much an executive makes in 1 year. That's
Who's
how
the
much they
asshole?
fine them.
Is it the bread? Who's the asshole?
I'm not really sure.
Okay.
I think Canada Bread is.
This is
the
a
asshole.
strange
This
one for you.
story.
I hate like it just really bothered me.
All right.
All right, number 2, Elon Musk and Mark Zuckerberg
Oh.
agreed to hold a cage fight. Is
What
that-
it is. What it
what
is.
fucking big dick energy
Yeah,
they are
yeah,
exuding.
yeah.
It's
There was an
disgusting.
article, I didn't I tagged it, it's in our platform actually, but it's not on the show docket, but the headline was that while these idiots are holding a cage fight match, the adults leading tech companies are meeting Biden in the White House to meet the Prime Minister of India.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, seriously.
Do you-
yeah.
do you think-
Microsoft, Apple, they're all at the White House.
Do you think like a lot of the tech bros, a lot of the Silicon Valley thing is like there's a lot of emphasis on like living forever and all that bullshit
Mhm.
that's like a thing.
Yeah.
Do you think they are like all taking like male growth hormones and getting like
Maybe.
Jeff
And
Bezos
testosterone.
suddenly
Is that how
jacked.
they got so
Mark
ripped?
Zuckerberg is suddenly jacked. Do you think this is pure speculation, but as part of like their regimen to live
Conspiracy.
forever, they're like doing like a version of steroids or growth hormones or whatever. They're doing
Wow.
like these therapies. And now they're out there being like, "I'll fuck you up," you know.
I mean, couldn't you say-
I can bench press more than you?
Couldn't you say that
Crap
dual
better be
class
coming.
shares are a human growth hormone? Or isn't it equivalency? But isn't it the same thing, really?
I
In
think
God's
that's correct.
world.
All right, number 3 asshole, and it's Musk again.
Oh.
Musk says, and this is now
I hate
codified
this story.
Ugh.
in Twitter's content policies.
Oh, it really is.
It is
Okay.
in their content policies that now cisgendered and cis are slurs
I don't
on
understand this
Twitter.
one. Can you explain this one to me? I just don't get it.
Right, so you know what cisgender
Yes.
is, right? Cisgender, for anybody who doesn't know, is just when you identify cisgender, you are what the gender
Assigned
you
at
were
birth.
assigned at birth.
Yeah.
That's it. It's a way to say that.
Why is it a slur?
Because he's making some
Who's he making fun of?
point about like how trans is not a
Not
real
real.
thing, and therefore cisgender is a slur against people who are like identifying as their correct gender.
Why does he care though? I don't. What is this?
It's all a troll. It's like, what are we doing? Why are we wasting? You're supposed to be making cars.
Just piling
You-
hate
you-
on a
You started off
subgroup.
making cars that were electric to save the planet, and now you're calling the word cisgender a slur.
And this is the guy who said
fun.
a year ago that CEOs should not be political. They shouldn't make political statements. They shouldn't be politically charged.
I mean,
Wow, that's
it's really
changed
hard to
quite a
not make
bit.
Musk the asshole of the week every
Asshole
week.
to everything. Yeah.
But this is fucking stupid between
Yeah.
those two stories. I'm hoping they cancel each other out, so we
I
don't
think
have
he
to
But-
talk
just
about it.
loves making himself the asshole of the week every week.
I think that this story is, of course, far worse. Musk and Zuck.
Mm-hmm.
What happened there? That's fun.
Well, the timer's still going.
Yeah, but the camera went off. Now it's up my nose.
We could do that. I like that.
Switch to
Is that on Facebook right now? On,
we're
LinkedIn, wherever?
live, as far as I know. The timer's still going. Camera
Of course,
turned
there's some
off.
feedback.
Yeah, something happened. Let's see what. Where's this go?
Didn't
What's this
wanna-
one?
Ooh, fix it by hitting a thing.
Nice.
This is compelling content.
I don't know what happened.
Do you want to start
You
over?
can't click it
Not
if
start
it's
over.
grayed
Do you
out.
want
No, it's not letting me do the things. This is still working. So the audio is still working. The camera's just
Let's
down.
just, want to keep going?
Bye, camera.
Yeah, we'll
Put
live
the camera on
stream
you. Put the
dead
camera on- no,
audio.
put it on your face, who cares?
No, no one wants to look up my nose for a half.
But the
an hour.
LinkedIn audience is primarily your audience anyway.
There's no.
They want to look at your
There
pores.
is no LinkedIn audience.
Well, okay, the potential LinkedIn audience.
All right, let's just finish the asshole. of the week.
Keep going.
All right, so yeah, Musk probably asshole of the week, even though I don't like it. Last one, number 4. This was the headline: AB InBev's chief marketing exec calls boycott over its Bud Light beer an important wake-up call.
Yeah.
Here is what the quote
Which
was.
part is the wake up
So first of all, I want to
Yeah.
remind you that Alyssa Hernerscheid
Yeah, sure.
is the executive whose
Heinerscheid.
Got canned.
idea
It's a
got
great name,
canned
Heinerscheid.
for the Dylan Mulvaney.
Yeah.
And this is the woman
Promotion.
who, when she was hired
Was
a year ago,
hired.
was hired to change the
To
fratty
do
culture
this.
at Bud Light. To
In
do
fact,
this. Yeah.
she turns out she was the first woman in Bud Light's history to run marketing.
No?
She devised the strategy.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, the first thing she does is what she's supposed to do and gets shit canned for
You know what's
it.
crazy, Matt? Is that ironically, that is probably a way better long-term strategy to do what she did.
Oh, no doubt.
I mean, I know right now, like
Yeah,
in the
we're-
Trump
we're real
world,
angry
it's
about it,
terrible,
whatever,
but
but-
long-term, it's an amazing idea.
But
I
here's
mean,
now the quote. There's so much revisionist history. In times like this, when things get divisive and controversial so easily, I think it's an important wake-up call to all of us marketers for us to be very humble.
What? What does that mean?
Goes on to say, it's tough to see all the controversial and divisive debates happening in the U.S. the last couple of weeks, involving lots of brands and companies, including especially Bud Light. But the company was reminding itself of its need to, quote, really understand our customers.
Or just one of them?
I don't
Right.
even want
They
those
don't-
customers.
They can't.
So, the thing that triggered me
Mm-hmm.
about this, because I'm basically just triggered by anything that Anheuser says at this point about any of this,
It's nothing.
because because it's a wake up call for the marketers. By that you mean don't use gays.
Stay in your lane.
I don't know.
By that you mean like what did you wake up to? You woke up to, okay, if we're gonna use like a trans person, then let's do it quietly. Maybe not a big name trans person.
Well, but how about
what are
then-
we doing? What's the
But then
wake
they
up
already
call?
do it quietly. They just give one can just as like a happy
That was too loud.
gift.
It
Too
was-
loud.
But it's like the wake up call is they don't explain what the wake
what
up
is the
call
wake-up
was,
call?
and they don't explain who the understanding our customers really are. Are you saying gay hating middle America?
Are they
Like,
waking
that's-
up that is who their primary customer is?
No, but that's not even
No,
true
it's-
though, because they
Who's
they
their
dipped to
primary?
number 2, right?
They
in the
dipped to
sales.
number 2, yeah.
It's a slight dip. It's a dip, yes, but that means that there's still that many customers who aren't angry and don't care. So we're talking about a very fringe amount of their stupid customers.
Not
right?
to mention
Very-
the fact that the number 1 is now Modelo, which has even more LGBTQ stuff that they do, right? Like, so what are?
Not to mention that this
what
country,
was the wake up call?
we litigated and legislated the gay marriage, gay rights like decades ago. I mean, America is okay with it.
It drives me bananas that like you can't just say we ran a campaign with a trans influencer.
Get over it.
Get over it.
Yeah.
No one should
Well,
care
I'll
about
tell you
that.
why-
Move
You can
on.
still drink the beer. It's still the same beer. Just because we want to sell, like the CEO should have come out and said,
We wanna
"My
sell to
job
everybody."
is to sell beer to everybody."
Even Republicans. wear
Republicans,
sneakers.
Democrats, trans, straight. We don't care.
Closet Republicans.
Yeah.
Everyone.
You looking at me
everybody.
for that?
Closet
I'm out as a
Republicans.
Republican.
But I did have my favorite correction
Yeah.
at the end of. I went down the story rabbit hole again, and this was my favorite correction ever. This is actually from May, but I just saw it, and so I'm putting it in here just to say it. In the Wall Street Journal does the story on Bud Light. At the very bottom, they say the musician Kid Rock posted a video on Twitter in which he shot cases of Bud Light with a submachine gun. an earlier version of this article incorrectly said he used a semi-automatic rifle.
I don't even know the difference.
I love that. I love that like someone was like, no,
correction.
no. Someone must have contacted them and like it
The
wasn't
NRA.
a
I
machine
thought
gun.
they hated fact checkers.
Get
anyway.
this right.
Get it right.
Can I just tell you the one thing that sticks out to me about this? Jesse and I have been doing research on these companies. You're talking about Anheuser-Busch InBev, which is located in Belgium, right?
Yep.
We were looking at Anheuser-Busch USA, which is really the one responsible for this. It is the malest executives we've seen. So that they don't know how to deal with this is no shock, right? It is
No,
like,
they did. They fired the people.
right, they just fired the woman.
Yeah, and now and
That's like
actually,
such a hissy
But
fit
it is-
move. It's like,
Yeah.
they're currently planning a massive ad spend on sports
wait, I'm
and
gonna
country
cover
music.
that.
She
I'm
didn't
gonna
cover
cover
this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So those are your 4 options: Canada bread and big
Canada
bread.
No one's voting for Canada
Big
bread.
bread price fixing. Musk and Zuckerberg's
Ugh.
big dick war.
oh,
Musk saying cis is a
Ugh.
slur, and AB InBev's important wake-up call
These are tough.
about their gay-hating customers.
I think I know
Somebody
what
else go first.
I think I know.
That's the first time
I'm
I've
gonna
ever
go.
deferred.
Although actually, number 3 and number 4 are quite similar, but just because I hate Elon Musk, I'll go. Elon Musk says cisgender and cis are slurs because he is directly contributing to death, to violence, to people getting bullied. He's directly contributing to it.
No, he's
People
just
will
Yeah,
kill
trolling
Twitter,
us into
Twitter
it.
got ranked
No, he's directly
as the
con-
#1 platform for all of those things.
Right, he's directly contributing to actual harm.
Yeah.
As opposed to like a cage fight and, Canada, the people in Canada don't eat bread. I
Cage
mean,
fight in
there's
Canada.
no bread in Canada, Matt. That's a fake article. That's my vote. Cisgender and cis are not slurs.
Jesse?
this one's tough for me, but I'll go with Musk as well.
But which one?
Oh,
Yeah.
definitely
Which
the
version of him is
cisgender.
an
Double
asshole?
I
Musk.
don't care about his
my vote
cage
doesn't
fight.
matter.
Cisgender
This
and
What
is
was your
sad.
vote? What was your vote, Ari?
I think just the Bud Light important wake up
Yeah.
call. Like,
Rule of
What?
thumb on this show, people.
You might be able to vote for it now.
All right.
what is your wake up call?
Rule of thumb on this show is that if you know that your vote is not the same as the first vote, you go next. That way you're not killing the
shoot.
category.
Wow, you're playing
Jump
chess
in there.
over there.
Well,
All
I've
right.
been doing this for far too long
Now
now.
I know what to do.
All right, exhausting us of the week. Let's get through it because I have to pee.
All right. Okay, so I'm basically piggybacking off
Yes,
of Matt
let's start with
because
Bud
we're
Light.
covering the same article, but I'm
This is
covering
great.
a slightly different angle of it because
It's a funny
I'm
angle.
sick of hearing about Bud Light basically whining about what they did, what they wanted Alyssa to do, and she did it, and now they're like, oh, we didn't expect that. So my headline is Bud Light to give away $10,000 every week as part
Is
of
that the greatest apology?
biggest summer campaign ever in bid to end crippling boycotts.
Crippling.
It's called Easy to Summer.
What does that
the
mean?
campaign.
Easy. What does that mean? Easy to summer.
Are they just gonna drop 10K from a
They're gonna-
Promises to be the
They're gonna
biggest.
fly a
That's what
plane
I want.
over Iowa and just
And
drop
just-
bales
Yeah.
on
What does that
them.
mean? Easy to summer. If you just stay alive, it's going to turn into summer. I don't get this.
They want to create like a whole. I'm in my backyard. I'm sipping my Bud Light. I'm
This is
listening
what happens
to a
when
concert.
you get rid of Alyssa
Mm.
Heinerscheid. You get bullshit like this. Easy
It
to
will
summer.
kick off the brand's largest media spend to date.
What happens if a
Wow.
gay person wins the $10,000?
Oh.
That would be
Oh.
amazing.
They're gonna
What
claw
happens?
it back.
It's like a Matrix
No, you
moment.
you
yeah.
you probably have to like specify
Oh,
when you
yeah,
enter
that's
or
true.
something.
Wait,
like,
every week one person gets 10K?
Yeah.
like
What
one
is
of the
your partner's
questions is,
name?
how gay are you?
But this is what they want. This is why they're giving away 10,000 to stock up for all the backyard parties you're having.
Oh,
$10,000.
Wow.
It's probably gonna be a voucher to Bud
By-
Light.
Yeah,
No.
of course, of course.
It's probably just gonna be a voucher for the beer
I
and
was
not
about
actually
to
funny.
money.
enter. I was gonna go buy some.
Alan, the guy who took over for Allison, said, "Imagine intimate backyard sets across the country where celebrated artists will jam out, spreading good vibes and creating unforgettable memories."
So they
Like,
replaced.
are you kidding me?
they replaced Alyssa with a man, I'm guessing.
Alan.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Alan.
His name is Alan or his last name?
His last name is Alan. I forget what his name is.
The best part of this
Scott
too is
Allen or something.
Not only
basic.
are they going to give away $10,000 each week, but also some lucky customers will get $100 to put toward their bar tabs.
Yeah, I know.
I really hope that, because included in this is like a country music
Oh, that's
series.
the part that got me. Yeah, this is the pandering part that really got to me.
I really hope that like somebody like gets on stage and is like, you know, I'd like to dedicate this song to all the trans people who are fighting in this country for recognition on the Bud Light stage. Just fucking troll these AB InBev at this point.
Here's the great thing
It's
we talk
insane.
about the NFL forever, mostly because of the horrible ownership. But who they picked for the NFL stars to represent this campaign. We talked about how black the NFL is, players wise, right? It's an extremely black league.
Yeah, these 70%, 65% black.
They picked 3 people. 2 of them are white, and the third is from the Dallas Cowboys, one of the worst ownership groups there, led by Jerry Jones. But he's married to a white woman, so does that help?
No, that's like
But
close.
I mean, talk about like pandering to horrible like race hate. I don't know what the hell they're doing. It's and
All right.
country music only.
I'm exhausted.
Yeah.
Can we do the next story?
Yeah,
I
okay.
don't want to die.
Next story, women bear the biggest brunt of climate change. We know they bear the
That's true
biggest brunt in the
exhausting.
workforce, but
True
now
exhausting.
we're learning that
They're
they...
the biggest part in everything.
Yeah, basically. And here's a quote because, okay, so this is from a scientist, Susan Chamba. She does a lot of work in Africa, in agriculture. So this is her quote. The way climate is seen in the world, it's very much from a masculine perspective. For example, while male climate scientists focus heavily on developing renewable sources of energy to replace fossil fuels like oil and gas,
Lawnmowers at Home Depot.
Chamba believes they pay far less attention to the hundreds of millions of women worldwide who are burning wood for tasks like cooking. Incorporating the perspectives of women, particularly poor rural women, would better ensure comprehensive solutions. So, you know, they need to be able to create heat and fire to cook from. They're walking miles and miles and miles to get water, some even up to 100 kilometers
What?
to get water. Yeah.
If
And-
AB InBev dropped instead of $10,000 from the sky, like 10,000 like induction, you know, hot
yeah.
plates.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe
Damn.
they could.
It's a good apology.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know what
That'd be
they
a
plug
good
it into.
pivot.
But giving to African women probably not going to be good with their fan base.
That's
No.
true.
It's very woke.
Do
man.
they
Can't
drink
give to
Bud Light
women.
in Africa? I
That's a
probably
good
do.
question. Only if Kid Rock is traveling on safari, shooting rhinos out of helicopters with Donald Trump Jr.
Oh my God! Everything you just said is like
Sorry.
my worst nightmare. You literally.
All right, Jesse, that is definitely exhausting.
Women are walking. I got it. Was
Go,
one
keep
last
going.
quote. One last quote. Women are walking so far to get water that they are miscarrying.
Oh.
Kids are drinking dirty water, getting typhoid. We're really suffering. Anyways, so that's pretty exhausting. I mean, we kind of knew this was happening, but we're not really writing about it. So here you go.
Good. Now
And
she's dead twice. Go ahead. Keep going.
to wrap this all up,
Yeah.
we have the return of PFAS. My,
Yes.
my favorite thing ever to talk
Yay!
about.
Everybody loves a
You
FIFA.
can't even groan because you all sent me the article on Slack. You knew it was going to be
Because
covered.
it's a joke now.
I heard it this morning on NPR and I was like, holy
Well,
cow.
the
Give
crazy,
me a listen
the
to this.
crazy part
What are
is
PFAS, Jesse? What are PFAS?
PFAS, forever
Our
chemicals.
audience
They are
knows.
chemicals that stay in the water, in the
As soon as we
environment,
have
the
an
soil
audience.
for thousands of
Yeah.
years. So it only took tens of years to create them,
Tens
and
of
they're
years,
going
I like
to
that.
stay for thousands of years
Oh, you
and
know.
ruin our lives. So here's the thing, though. The first article I read was the headline was not written like the one that I'm gonna share, and I was
Mhm.
like, "Ooh, this is actually good, like a settlement." But then
Settlements
I
are
came
never
across
good.
this headline: 3M's 10.3 billion forever chemical settlement is also an armor against future lawsuits.
Of course, they're always
Yeah.
pro-corporation, these settlements.
And so the fact that they pay, that's great. It's not a lot of money though, because
What?
to actually clean up all of the water that
Mm-hmm.
has been damaged by PFAS, it would take an estimated $400 billion. 400, so
Well,
four,
Holy cow.
40x.
They only have 390 billion more to go. It seems like
Except
they're
that the
pretty-
settlement's done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The settlement's done, and here's some other bullshit about this settlement. it is not 3M says it's not an admission of liability.
Never is.
Yeah, they
Never
never do
is.
that, yeah.
And they have 13 years to pay for it. So while our water is damaged now, they have 13 years to test and help clean up and all of that. So they have until 2036. And 3M stock, want to guess how much it rose after the announcement of the settlement?
Why?
Of course, whenever you announce a settlement, it rises.
Yeah, 'cause it's
Why?
over.
Well,
'Cause it's over.
Because they
So no one else, so everyone else is tricked into thinking this isn't.
No, because
An admission of liability?
You now know the amount of the liability,
And you're
and
okay with it?
and you can now you can say, oh, I can price that into the stock. I've been pricing into the stock some amount of liability, but it was less or more than I expected. But often once they settle, the stock goes up because they're like, we're done with this issue now, especially because they can't be sued in the future.
How
Well,
much did it go up by?
5%.
According to our platform, 3M company batting 292 in carbon intensity. 292, that's very low.
That's
Yeah.
pretty terrible.
Pretty bad. Yeah. So,
I'm
anyways,
sure their water numbers are way worse.
No, yeah, we haven't even put those on the platform yet.
They're
I think
Excited for
I
that.
think
Emissions.
5,000 water sources have already been tested and confirmed that
Is
there are
this
high levels of PFAS.
worldwide or mostly? Because I know
This
they're in Minnesota,
this is
right?
national, nationwide.
They're global, no?
So-
Yeah,
Their
they're a
products?
global company, but I think a lot of the crap that they do happens
Well,
in the
yeah, true,
lakes
because
around Minnesota.
Other
Oh, really?
countries ban, our FDA
Well,
Right.
doesn't
like that.
ban these things.
Right.
Other countries' governments that are supposed to be protecting them
Right.
actually do protect them from these certain chemicals. We have like 300 chemicals that the FDA doesn't ban that
Right.
a lot of the other first world countries ban.
I'm
Anyways.
exhausted, Jesse.
Ugh.
All right.
You've achieved your goal.
Thank
I'm.
you. Happy to be here.
I don't know how to vote on
I
this.
kind of still want the $10,000.
I'm mulling this over.
Yeah, we're gonna.
I would
How do I-
love
how
the
do I win?
$10,000
I
too.
win a lot of things. When I enter my name into things, I win.
But I
don't
think if
believe
you
you.
win it, I
I
think
really
if you
do.
win it, you have to immediately donate it to like a trans charity or something.
Well, that would be cool.
Yeah. But that's not the exhaustingest of the week.
I have my gut. I'll just go first as a quick. I'm
Yeah.
gonna go with my gut. Women bear the biggest brunt of climate change. That just seems the most exhausting because I've seen that one a lot. Women bear the biggest brunt of everything, so I'll just go for that.
I'm gonna go with 3M actually,
Ooh, already
because
tiebreaker.
because this happened also during the financial crisis. This happens whenever you see. Actually, if you ever read a story that says XYZ company settles for a billions of dollars, the real settlement is always something different. First
That's
of all,
true, too. It
a
gets
lot
watered
of
down,
these,
yeah.
a lot of these settlements are tax deductible. In
Also
the financial-
contested too,
They
right?
also can be contested. They almost never admit liability, and they don't do
Never.
that because if they admit a liability, that means civil suits
Yeah.
can use the admission of liability to sue, right? So if you got cancer in Minnesota because you drank out of a lake,
Because you're a firefighter and you're spraying their solution.
then
all over.
it becomes like a much bigger liability. These settlements, it's not even 3M. It's just like these settlements are mostly shams. Like it shouldn't be an amount of money. It should be 3M agrees to clean up PFAS until they're gone.
Yeah,
Like that should be the settlement.
ASAP. Yeah.
So I'm going with that. That means
All right.
you have to choose.
Or create a tiebreaker for
Or
Jesse.
go into labor, whichever one you choose.
Or labor.
So I'm gonna choose 3M for a different reason, and it's because I really don't like 3M, and they make
Okay, that's a good reason.
they make so many things I
They
like,
make sticky notes.
so many things that are useful to me.
Tape.
I'm a big fan,
I like tape.
but
But
they're the worst.
okay.
They're the
All right.
worst.
All right. That's enough
like it.
of that. I'm exhausted. All right, what are we doing next?
Who won the week? Come on.
Who won the week? I think we all chose the same thing.
No, let's see. Let's see.
We did.
No, Matt.
Kinda.
Well, okay, I'll go. I'll make it. I'll go
Variations.
quickly. We did
We did.
because we released something.
Yeah, we released the platform.
Yeah.
We did a thing.
Who else? Anyone?
I chose Ari,
Ari?
but
I
same
actually
reason.
chose
Ari, the
someone
winner?
specific. I chose Patricia Russo.
Why? Why Patricia?
Patricia Russo is a director in our database, and before we launched our database,
Nice picture.
freefloat.llc, no one knew how powerful she was. She is on the boards of KKR,
Wow.
Hewlett-Packard,
Wow.
General Motors,
Wow.
and Merck.
And look at her
she
influence
has
numbers.
Yeah.
more than 10% at 3 of
Wow.
those. She's
Wow.
20% influence at HP.
That's incredible.
Damn.
She
She's a
is
baddie.
she is super powerful. So I picked her.
That's incredible. That's a good pull there. Ari, do you have a winner?
Yeah,
What?
us.
Cool. Winners, us. Predictions.
I have a prediction.
Okay, you could just say it.
Patricia Russo
Uh-oh.
is the first director to sue Free Flow.
Oh no!
Because now not only does everyone know who she is, but she bats 380 and she's super powerful, so she's kind of
But she can
mediocre.
spin it and say like that's better than
I'm
Ty
just-
Cobb. Like I'm the greatest.
I'm just saying that like the thing that's going to happen inevitably, some director's going to
Ooh.
get pissed about what we said.
I like it.
Come after us, Trisha.
Bring it.
My prediction is that am I allowed to say this?
Yeah.
I'm gonna say it
We're
anyway.
going to change the name.
My prediction is that the original name we launched with, we're gonna change because we hate it.
Yes, we hate it for reasons that are legal.
That's my prediction. Anyone else?
Yeah,
Yes.
I have a prediction.
Go ahead.
This is kind of a joint prediction
Mhm.
for me and Ari, but we're gonna be at
Like
we're gonna be at
weed?
Greenfin.
Smoking weed.
Greenfin, that's
Green-
right.
Oh yeah, plug
Combined.
Next
yourself.
week.
We're
Ari
gonna
is
be-
speaking,
Come
Jesse's
find
there.
us.
Yeah, Ari's gonna be moderating a panel. I'm gonna be cheering her on and mingling and
And selling.
networking and selling. So that
Woo!
leads me to our prediction. Matt thinks that I could only at most make. He's created a glass ceiling for me at one sale this year.
Yeah.
So my prediction is we're gonna make 3 at Greenfin.
Just at the
Just at the
Wow.
conference.
Yeah.
That prediction
I mean,
is not
we won't.
going to
We
come
may
true.
not make the sale there, but we're going
Ari,
to
Have
get
a
some
little
warm
faith.
leads.
I love it.
Have a little faith.
Ari,
So
what
go
do
to
you- what's your
Greenfin
panel?
and buy stuff for
Go to
Jesse.
Greenfin,
Go to
talk
Greenfin.
to us, and buy
What's
so
the
that we
panel?
can prove Matt wrong.
In case people are going to Greenfield, what's the panel you're moderating?
I am moderating Monday 4 p.m. ESG. Can it be a defense against greenwashing?
Oh,
ESG
great.
data, defense against greenwashing.
Love
That's it. That's Free Flow. You saw us for
I
half
thought
of
you
the
said
time.
you suck. Yeah.
You stopped seeing us for the other half, but we're here.
Yeah. Why am I still looking at the camera?
I don't know. We're sitting in front of the lights. We don't even need to be here.
I wish I was
That's
looking at
Damian
myself.
Rollis and Jesse the Money Whisperer and Ari the Data Queen. I am full of BS. Go to freefloat.llc. Click on the login. Sign up for free. Until next week, we'll see you later. Good.